future being taken from you. When money meant to improve your local schools, hospitals, and roads is snatched away, opportunities for a better life are lost with it. When money meant to improve your government and the rule of law is stolen, so too is your chance for a more just and secure future. Every year we lose billions to corruption, billions that were supposed to improve all of our lives, our opportunities, and our communities. At times, the scale of the problem can seem overwhelming, but corruption is not inevitable. Together, we have the power to stop corruption.
We have a distinguished panel of experts with diverse backgrounds and perspectives to shed light on this crucial topic. Let's all welcome our panelists for today's discussion. Dr. Ace Calvin Hebala, a professor of political science specializing in international development and governance. Mr. Julius Nicolai Gustil, investigative journalist known for his work exposing corruption in the public and private sectors. Mr. Rolf Lander Isogo, advocate for social justice and founder of non-profit organization combating corruption at the grassroots level. Mr. Ernie John Guerra, CEO of a multinational corporation with a strong commitment to ethical business practices. Mr. John Wilson Lenape, former government official and current consultant on anti-corruption policies. And last, we have Mr. Hans Christian Harald, legal expert specializing in anti-corruption law and enforcement. So, let's begin by defining what we mean by corruption. So, Dr. Hebala, could you offer your perspective?
Well, corruption encompasses a wide range of behaviors, from bribery to embezzlement to nepotism and abuse of power. It undetermines good governance, erodes public trust, and hinders economic development. It is a complex issue with a deep root in societal structures and power dynamics.
Thank you, Dr. Hebala. So, Mr. Gustilo, your investigative work has exposed numerous cases of corruption. What are some of the most common forms you've encountered?
Bribery and extortion are unfortunately widespread. Officials often demand payments for services they are supposed to provide, while businesses may offer bribes to secure contracts or avoid regulations. We also see a lot of money laundering and illicit financial flows, which are difficult to trace and often involve complex networks of individuals and entities.
Mr. Isubu, your organization works directly with communities affected by corruption. What are the real-world consequences of this issue?
From what I can see, corruption steals resources from the most vulnerable. It can lead to inadequate healthcare, education, and infrastructure, perpetuating poverty and inequality. It also undermines the rule of law and creates an environment of fear and impunity.
Thank you, Mr. Isubu. So, Mr. Guerra, as a business leader, how do you address corruption within your organization?
We have a strict code of ethics and zero-tolerance policy for corruption. We invest in training and awareness programs for employees. And we have a robust internal controls to prevent and detect any wrongdoing. We believe that ethical behaviors is essential for long-term business success.
Mr. Nanabi, we've seen corruption from both sides of the table, from Mr. Guerra, Mr. Usugun, and Mr. Gustino. What are some of the key concerns in combating it?
One major challenge is lack of political will. Governments often lack the resources or the motivation to effectively address corruption. Another challenge is the lack of transparency and accountability. Many countries lack effective mechanisms for citizens to hold their leaders accountable.
Mr. Haru, you've seen many perspectives about corruption. What role does law enforcement play in tackling corruption?
Law enforcement plays a crucial role in investigating and prosecuting corruption cases. However, It's important to have a robust legal framework and independent institutions to ensure that investigations are conducted fairly and effectively. We also need to address the root causes of corruption, such as poverty, inequality, and lack of access to justice.
This has been a fascinating discussion. Thank you to our panelists for sharing their insights and expertise. We've explored the multifaceted nature of corruption, its devastating consequences, and the critical need for collective action to combat it. We encourage everyone to continue engaging with this issue and to demand transparency, accountability, and justice from our leaders.